Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on a Saturday of the Knoxville Nationals here in Knoxville, Iowa, with the Sean. The Spike is not here. I guess some young women found their way to his Airbnb, and he is out for the rest of the day. I don't know what happened. We took him to the little shroom store. He bought a bag, and once he started taking one, I guess it's like Pokemon. Once you have one, you got to have them all, or catch them all or something. But we are here today to talk serious, and we are also here to not miss the scales. But I don't know if that's possible, as we have Sean on the phone or in person, but we also have a great trade. If we can't have Spike, we can have Broke Joe. Broke Joe is here. You actually are here, Broke Joe, in audio sense.
I'm here. I'm 2 hours earlier than Spike, and I'm stopping work to do this show. So,
and he's just
says about Spike.
Yeah, he's just off somewhere, probably with who knows what the age is. I'm worried. I'm concerned.
He could have been arrested. Is it noon there? Isn't it noon?
Yeah. It just passed noon, yes. High noon.
And his whereabouts are unknown.
We just tried calling him, and the chicken didn't crow.
All right, so we're going to break down. You got 5.
Hold on, we can't break down shit. How has your week been, Broke Joe? You've been gone. The last time we saw you was with Spike in the Hell's Den over there in Wisconsin, and now you're back. What's happened this week? Is there any Knoxville shockers or lit downers or anything that you've seen this whole week? We know you had to have been watching.
Well, to me, the biggest shocker is Jack Dover missing the scale. Because I'm looking, Jack Dover starts 18th in the D main.
Do you have any conspiracy theorists on what that?
Well, but see, Jack Dover and Schatz don't have a relationship, and somewhat I thought a rivalry at one point, but I don't know how that. But he's a veteran. He's a veteran.
Wait a minute. This first off, Dover he raced his prelim night. I don't know what he did, but did he have to go to the scale on his prelim night, and he went to the scale?
I would assume so.
I don't know. I don't know how he did.
Is it everybody who transfers out of a heat goes to a scale?
Yes.
Are you looking into if he transferred on his prelim?
Well, that would be my next, thing I would be looking at. If he went to the scale on his prelim night, it would look odd that he didn't go on the Hard Knocks night. If he didn't, he's raced the Nationals quite a few times, hasn't he?
He's a veteran.
He is a veteran. He's a 360 Nationals contender. He's a 360 guy mainly his whole career, but he's done a share of 410 races. You would think he understands what to do. Did that make or break Donny Schatz's Hard Knocks night, though? Did it for sure?
Well, where would Donnie would have started in the B race?
Yeah, that's a big difference.
And if he transferred out of the B last night, where would he have tagged onto the main?
The tail.
Yeah, the back.
Well, yeah, I think it made quite a bit of difference.
But how can you relay that message? Hey, Jack, we know you're going to finish in the top 5, get out of the way or whatever. How do you know that's going to happen?
Premeditated.
Well, we don't know. We're just guessing. I'm just saying it's
premeditated.
I don't know if it's premeditated, but it seemed to be one of the luckiest breaks you could possibly get, isn't it? To go from the B to the pole of the A, if someone missed the scale.
Everybody does blame Jack Dover right now. They are saying, I texted him. Obviously, Jack Dover took care of my car while I was in Australia. He drove me to the airport, so I know Jack Dover. I texted him and said, how much did Schatz pay you? Thinking he would, say, oh, he didn't pay me or something. He didn't text back, Broke Joe. I'm guessing I wasn't the only one that sent him a text like that.
So you have a relationship with Dover?
I have somewhat of one, yes. It's cordial, and I have a relationship with Schatz. Oh, my God, the conspiracy theory. I'm the one that told Dover to do it.
Did you signal him?
Oh, my. I think
The infield.
no.
Did you wave him off the scale? Is there video? Did he drive? I know the scales are kind of by the victory stand, but are his pits? Do they drive by the scale to go to his pits, or can you, like, if your pits are in a different location, do you kind of drive away from the scales? I mean, how?
Because everybody comes off of 4, and then you go straight to go down the center lane. You kind of have to pass the scales in a way to get to your pits, no matter where you're at, unless you're beforehand. Unless you're like your pit is like near turn 4 on the first row.
Yeah.
Then you could just pull into your pits and be like, oh, fuck. You know, there is possibility he just fucked up.
Or there could have been a deal
that.
made. Or there could have been a deal made.
Of course, you freaking bum conspiracy theorists are going to think that.
You never know. We'll never know.
We won't ever know, that's for sure.
It's America. There's always a conspiracy theory that usually is true.
So is the turned up headers why Kyle Larson is going to dominate this race?
No, that has nothing to do with anything. You know, we used to, back in the 80s and 90s out here, California, we used to run the super trap headers that used to swoop way up. I mean, everybody ran that. That was
I mentioned that on the show 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything. It's just Kyle. Kyle's better than everybody.
Better than everybody.
Yeah.
There's no one that's going to get him.
It is, you know,
I think it's too obvious, Joe.
I can't say no one can get him because there's upsets in sports. You know, the American hockey team beat the Russians in 1980. Anything can happen. But, I mean, if you're going to lay odds, he's a big favorite. He's a big favorite. Doesn't mean, you know, it's not 100%.
I have a theory, Joe. I have a theory that obviously the world of outlaws and their reputation is on the line at this event, I think, with Kyle. And their boy, David Gravel, is in a bad spot. And everybody always makes fun of David Gravel for not being able to pass. And he's going to have to come through a B now. I think that, you know, the Cinderella story for the World of Outlaws and their points leader is for David Gravel to drive through the field and beat Kyle.
Well, we had Schuhart go from like 21st to 2nd. Didn't Gravel make a similar charge one year?
Last year, he like had a flat tire on like lap 4, I think, and came back to 2nd.
Okay.
I think. But, you know,
people have went through the field. People have went through the field, but...
And then Corey Day, of course, is the other hope, right?
So we're going to talk A main? I thought we were going to look at all the main events and then get to the A.
I feel like that's a 4-hour show, Joe. Let's talk about the Knoxville Nationals. These people and their D's and their C's and their E's, they're done, Joe. We both right? That's not going to affect the race. The B mains, if you want to get to the B's, maybe some long shots in the C's. Let's go to the C's. Who could come from the C? Because that's a hell of a charge. I don't see a name.
I don't think nowadays you can go from the C to the A.
I don't think you can either. I'm looking at the list. I don't see no one who could do it. I don't see enough talent in this field to do that. No disrespect to Danny Dietrich and you know, Austin McCarl, I guess, or J.J. Hickle, but I just don't think y'all could drive through the B main. The B main's a stout-ass field.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
So let's just go.
Look at the B main. Gravel's actually starts 6th. He's on the outside.
Is it top 4 or 6?
Top 4.
Top 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, you got to figure Sweet and Pecker in. So it's really, there's 2 guys, there's 2 spots.
I wouldn't necessarily, dude, I would love to say Justin Peck. I've been a big fan, but he's mistake prone. I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but Justin Peck is like Sheldon in a way. I said that at the beginning of the year that Justin Peck was going to be the Sheldon of a high limit tour because of the driving styles, but it's also, I'm saying that because of the mistake prone that he is. There's some times when Justin Peck should have this race or heat race wrapped up, and somehow, you know, it just, he makes a mistake or something goes wrong. I'm not sure that Peck's a solidified spot right there.
Okay, so you're saying Sweet is, so there's 3 spots left. And Gravel's getting one of them.
You got to think.
McFadden, I think, is going to drive his.
I agree with McFadden.
McFadden.
He's getting one.
But Mechanicals on the 83. It's a 22-lap race. This is, you know, not a short 12-lapper.
Yeah, but really, the semi, there's really no big
It's
names.
pretty soft. I just scrolled. It is pretty soft. I guess the only one we got to see here that you could hopefully cross your fingers on is Michael Buddy Kofoid starting now the 15th spot. Joe, you are one of the biggest, outside of me and a few others, Buddy Kofoid supporters. What in the hell is going on with Michael Buddy Kofoid this year? Outside of Austin McCarl for the locals, Buddy Kofoid's the biggest disappointment of this year's Knoxville Nationals, in my opinion.
Yeah. You want me to tell you why?
Oh my! What do you know the truth? What are they doing? Have they stopped killing cattle and they're fucking with sheep? What's going on over there at the Roth place?
I was trying to get a little information here to.
Oh no!
I like talking facts when I come on your show. I don't like just because people are gonna be mad at what I say.
But facts are supplied by those who are in charge, Joe. That's the problem, So
no, I'm just talking like his race results. Think about if you look at Buddy's year, which leads us to this week. Obviously, you see his year. He had a stretch. Get this, I don't know if you know. It's all outlaws, and he ran one high limit in this stretch. He had a stretch here. After they left Volusia, basically. He went 10, 9, 8, 5, 3, 7, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Wow.
6, 6, 7, 3, 1, 7, 3, 2, 5, 7, 7, 3. Okay, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of off. I think it's 23 top 10.
Well, this is why I say biggest disappointment. You got a guy with that much consistency who's not even. I mean, it was horrible even last night.
We had 23 top 10s in a row. Okay, that's what he was reeling off. And then he ran the high limit race at Eagle where he crashed in hot laps. You remember that?
Yes.
So he junked the car that had run those 23 top 10s in a row.
Oh shit!
Now, I heard this is just things I heard. I don't know.
The grapevine.
That they had a sister car to that car he crashed. They decided not to run, and they went to a different style car. I don't know who made that decision. But since then, he has. Yeah, I mean, the results are. He barely can. It's horrible.
Wow.
Compared to what it was. He had a 14th, a 7th, a 6th, a 2nd, a 2nd. But then he had a 13th, a 23rd, a 7th, a 10th, a 19th, a 12th, a 12th, a 6th. So I don't know. They changed.
Something changed.
They had something that was working. The car got crashed in hot laps. I think the steering box broke. Junked the car, and they decided to go to a different style car. And wherever that decision was made and by who, it doesn't look like I don't know. That things changed.
This is a big disappointment for him, but I guess that's the same combo that is a losing combo. It's what you're saying. What they got going on at the 83 team is not good for Buddy Kofoid, and he's not going to come from 15th and make the show. We're not going to see some big charge from that machine is what you're saying.
Not based on what I've seen the last 2 days, they're not. I mean, you're not going to wake up and just be faster if they change.
Well, not just last 2 days, but ever since the team made this switch with the car, you're saying. It's just been horrible.
Well, it hasn't been what it was. I mean, he was on the podium even there. I mean, in that 23 race stretch, he had a stretch of, these are outlaw races where he had a third, 7th, 2nd, third. That, and then there's another stretch right after that of a 3rd, 1st, 7th, 3rd, 2nd. That Buddy in April and May is not what I'm seeing in August.
No, it's not. It's not.
Well, something's different.
Something's
different. I know that.
Go ahead.
Whoever. No, it's like a coach or something of anything. Whoever's running it, they made decisions on equipment that their performance has dropped off. He's just right there in the numbers.
Perfect timing. Once his Corey Day says he's going NASCAR, they sabotage Buddy.
Well, once the big money came up, then all of a sudden it went down the tube. They did the opposite of Larson. Larson was kind of struggling early on.
Right. Yeah, he's been getting beat all year, but that's my problem with Larson. You know, these guys, they don't get no credit when they're beating Larson the whole damn year, but then when Larson comes in and goes on a little stretch, and he's a god once again.
Yeah, look at Larson. Larson had a stretch here: 26th, 8th, 14th, 6th, 23rd. Then he had a second, and then a 37th. So, I mean, then he had another stretch here of 24th, 3rd, 28th, 6th, 3rd, 2nd, 20th, 13th, 31st. And then a 1-1-1-1.
Yeah, goes on a little stretch. I'm sure David Gravel's stats sound better, but he don't get half the credit that Kyle does.
No.
They're not going to put David Gravel in the God category. He's just a little disciple bitch.
That's the way the country works, Chaz.
No, it isn't. We're going to change it. We're changing it. We're fucking changing it. Okay, so we could cry here about Buddy Kofoid all day. I want to talk about the biggest disappointment outside of that, in my opinion, based on his national experience this year in Showcase. We thought it would have been a match made in heaven, and that's the Cole Macedo-Tarleton rides, Joe. I know you loved your West Coast drivers. What about Cole Macedo? What's going on here?
Well, I think he's about where I would have predicted. He's in the middle.
Come on, Joe.
You thought Cole Macedo would be an A-main lock-in?
I mean, I'm trying to say so, but he's been fast this year, you know. I thought, they bring the Tarleton car out. They got is Drew Warner on the car. I mean, have all the trade secrets from Ricky. I mean, match made in heaven. I mean, come on.
Well, he's about where I would have slotted him in.
Okay, so who's the 4 lock-in? So Sweet, I can agree with Sweet. If he doesn't have mechanical failures,
Sweet,
I think
I'm
McFadden.
gonna go Sweet, Gravel, McFadden, and then I'm gonna go Eliason.
Ooh.
It's do or die.
You're gonna pass. See, I honestly,
Well, you talked me out of Peck. I'm sticking with Peck.
You're gonna stick with Peck.
Sweet, Peck, McFadden, Gravel.
I'll go Sweet, McFadden, Gravel, Garrett Williamson. Garrett Williamson is good enough to make it in there. In 22 laps. This is a deal. This B main is not, like I said, 12 laps. This is a basically a full race, pretty much. It's three laps short of a prelim.
I'm trying to look farther back there. Could
There's no one there.
Could Baston do something, or he's not?
No.
Yeah, there really ain't nobody who's making a charge in there.
No. It doesn't look like it.
And what about you, Sean? What do you think?
Sweet, Peck, McFadden.
So you're with Joe, Gravel. You're going to take Gravel out? Why are you hunting on Gravel?
Man, that's going to be a battle. Eliason and Gravel, I think.
Well, Larson does have laps on the speedway. All right, A-Main, let's get to the shit that matters. Come on now. We're already 20 minutes in. The internet's slow here. There's some girl There's some girl from TikTok coming to follow me all day today at Knoxville. They heard about my TikTok videos and they want to follow the Chaz around Knoxville Nationals tonight. So
making TikTok videos or just following you around?
They're just gonna follow me around and document the beast fat thing that is flopping around the Knoxville Raceway. They're surprised. They had never heard of sprint cars, Joe. This is how we're going to change the world.
Man,
Are you,
see the
are you
picture of
speechless,
McKinney
Joe?
Hossey's frame?
She's got a pink blazer on and everything. He's straight out of Compton, L.A. Okay.
I think Joe's speechless.
Okay. Anybody but Courtney. That's the statement, right?
Okay, are we going to predict the top 5?
We're talking about winning because I honestly think that it is just too damn obvious that Larson's going to win this. It's too decoy, Joe. It's too decoy. It's just like his headers. His headers is a decoy. They got something else going on. I think it's arrow.
Okay.
But it's too much of a decoy.
You gave me a heads up we were going to do a pre-race show, so I gave a lot of thought to this.
Oh, no.
I gave a lot of thought to who's going to race Larson.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
You guys want to tell me who you think's racing Larson?
I think you have circled Gio, personally.
That's right. I did.
You love Gio. Me and Gio had a big long talk about you, Joe, at the Dingus on Wednesday.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we had a big long talk about the broke Joe. Oh yeah.
Okay, first off, see, this isn't. Gio started on the pole of the 2021 Nationals.
Yes.
So as young as Gio is, he's been through this before. I think this is what's going to help him. He went through this before, and he led about 10 laps, and he wound up fourth. He got passed by Kyle, Donnie, and Sweet, but he hung tough. He didn't just get passed and fall apart. He was racing those guys, so he's been through this. If this was the first time he was in the front three rows, I wouldn't take it as serious. But
and he was relatively dominant Wednesday. Like he owned the night, really.
Right. That's right. But it got forgotten because he got dropped back to fifth in points.
Well, it got forgotten because Kyle Larson's God. No one else matters, Joe.
But I'm not forgetting.
That would be one, and that is a world race. Back to gravel and the world racing group and their guys. WRG has got behind Gio. That's one of their boys. The Outlaws and Gio have a relationship. It seems publicly.
So I'm going with Gio
To give him a go.
Yeah.
Now
and
what?
Also.
Oh no.
Okay.
Scott Boguski, say it. That's the surprise, though. How about that, Scott Boguski? In the no man.
There's a surprise.
But he has to be it, right?
But Boguski's been fast at Knoxville the last couple months.
Well, I know, but you would have picked Brian Brown. I mean, he's in the show. Austin McCarl's in the damn C-Main, Joe. I'm just saying. Scott Boguski.
There was a mechanical issue. Austin McCarl was looking good last night.
He did. But I'm just saying, Scott Boguski, no one had that on the bingo card, I don't think.
Well, there's always two or three guys that get in that, there's always that because the randomness of the format.
Okay, so your other guy, I don't want to ruin your frame of speech here. So
okay, it's a 50 lapper, right? They have a break in the middle?
Yes, this is where the crew chief can change the world, and you're gonna say Rico.
No.
Oh God, now I'm scared.
After watching the front row challenge, I'm saying if Corey Day can get into the top 5 by the break, we have a race.
You think Corey Day's the Goliath killer? He's the David.
I think he is.
Well, he's the protege, though. That's what NASCAR wants, Joe. That's why I said the fix is in. They want Corey Day to take down Larson so they can pump him into the NASCAR Cup Series.
Well, if you're asking me to bet with people, I'm going to bet on the people that are fixing it, okay?
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
But I don't see. I mean, if I could predict the winner, I'd probably want Pittman to win. If I could dictate the winner, but I think Corey Day and Gio can move around on the track at any corner at any time.
Better than
they just use more of the racing surface. And they're Corey, they can be, they're young and they can just be a little, let it all hang out. And that's what's it's going to take like a Jason Johnson beating shots type effort. You got to kind of be in over your head to beat Kyle, I think. Mm-hmm. Pippin's too controlled and, Corey, I just think you need a little wild in you. And I think Gio and haven't been there once before in the front of a main, and Corey just has that potential.
What about Dell Sr.? Do you think Dell Sr. can get it done or no?
Who's Dale Sr.?
Brian Brown.
No.
20 years is trying. He's tried his whole career.
No, not against.
He just ain't got it.
No. Didn't he finish fourth? I mean, second 4 times? Did he?
This is why I say Dale Senior.
Oh, okay, I got you. Didn't John Force have a lot of seconds before he won too? But he hit him or something. But
Right.
no, if there's a cushion to lean on, it's going to be a California guy. If there's no cushion and it slicks off, then you could put Pittman and Brown in the mix. But if the track is like it usually is, and you can use the whole track, and there's a cushion and the maneuverability of Kyle, and
And he was able to drop, dude. That was a deal. I don't think people understood Thursday is Kyle just put that damn car wherever it needed to go at the perfect time, and it stuck. When he went down to the bottom of 3 and 4, I was watching Macedo. I watched those guys. Their cars was skating everywhere and missing the groove. And when he put it down there, it was just right on it. It was just right on it. It didn't miss, and it was so perfect no matter where it went.
Yeah, that's why he's the favorite.
But that's also why it's too obvious though. I'm thinking flat tire. I'm thinking mechanical issue. It's too obvious.
Well, yeah, obviously if something happens to Kyle mechanically, then it opens the door for who knows what.
But I do like the Gio idea, because Gio is the one guy who's, my time is now, bitch, type of attitude.
That's right, because he went through this 3 years ago. And he's raced Knoxville a lot, and they're kind of based there. And he won. Didn't he win a $50,000 high limit race? Was that last year? This year?
That was last year at Lakeside.
And didn't he? He kind of got a bad break at Eldora. Wasn't he leading like the $100,000? And a yellow came out. And
no, he jumped the cushion in 1 and 2. Yeah, going in the corner.
He had a big lead, and yellow came out and bunched up the field. And I think his car. He banged the wall right before the yellow. I'm not sure if the ladder or the tire or something was different. Next time he went into the corner, he jumped the cushion. I mean, he's due for something to go his way in a big way.
Obviously, they don't have the Hard Knocks guys on here. That would be Schuchart, Schatz. What was the other two there? Do you have Henderson? That's yeah. Schatz gonna make a run? No, yes.
Maybe to 10th.
Maybe to 10th.
I would say Schuchart's gonna beat Schatz.
You think Schuchart will beat Schatz through the field?
Yeah.
What about Sheldon?
No, maybe a top 10.
What about Jacob Allen?
Nah.
Bill Baylog? Another guy who cried making the race.
I just see the guys that are kind of in their first one. They usually fade. I mean, I don't see that middle section of even starting with Macri, Bacon, Boguski, Baylog, Randall. They haven't been through this. When it gets to that second half of the race,
I thought Chase Randall made it last year. But he's getting lapped.
He did. He did. But
he's just too far back. You get too far back, the field's too strong. You get lapped in the first 15 or so.
He's sure showing promise though as a future star.
Oh, I think his problem is he has to get out of Iowa. I think at a certain point in Iowa you plateau. You become a Brian Brown, almost like in California. There's a certain point you plateau. You become an Andy Forsberg or something. You gotta.
You're Aaron Reitzel.
You got to get out of the Iowa area if you want to go big time sprint car racing. I still feel like that's true.
So that's my 3. I'm taking Larson. Well, Larson doesn't count. That's like
your mind is Larson. Your age is Darren Pittman, and your heart is Gio.
The more I look at this, I hate to have not mentioned Rico.
I know, right? Sneaky one. But he already got beat by Larson this week, so we have it in our mind that he can't outdo him.
We don't even mention Carson Macedo either sitting there.
I think Carson's good, man, but I didn't think that, it was an upgrade when the 41 went from gravel to Carson. I think Carson's good, but he's just He's too situational, Joe. He's a situational driver.
Yeah, the track gets more technical at the end.
Yeah, when it gets technical, he's all over the track.
It's the same with Sheldon. I just, and we haven't mentioned Courtney either.
I don't think nobody wants to mention Courtney except those who are not in a relationship.
Oh man.
No, it's not a man, Tyler. It's not a man.
I'm saying Spike is probably on Courtney's.
Yeah, if Spike was here, he'd be cheering for Tyler Courtney for sure.
Okay, well
That's it. 30 minutes. We're at the 30-minute mark.
Did you say what you think? What do you think?
I think that Kyle Larson is going to lose this race. That's all I know. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen.
2 names that are going to beat him?
I like the Geo pick. You know, we did have our long talk about you, Joe. Do you want to go into that?
Was it? I've never met Geo.
Really?
I never met him. I went to a race at Petaluma, and he was actually he was wrenching for his brother. He wasn't even driving.
Oh wow!
Sat near me, sat next to me in the pit stands, but he didn't know who I was. I've never met him. So I've never met him. So
you're a celebrity now after being on the Chaz, though, so he knows who you are. So
was it a positive?
Oh, of course. Every time you say broke Joe to a California racer, they smile outside of the Macedos.
Huh? So Geo's he's pro broke Joe.
I think he is pro broke Joe. So that makes your pick to take down Kyle very nice.
Well, I just go back to he's been through this. He's been around. He's had disappointment in big money races, and it's just you kind of look at sports in an overall view, like it's his destiny, it's his time. He's the guy that just stands out to me. Like he put it all together on his prelim night. I don't know. That's just my vibe. That's just my vibe.
Well, and here's the other vibe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lock-ins for the state of California in this field. You got, I think it looks like 1, 2, 3 from PA, technically, but 5 California drivers. Funny enough, 2 from Oklahoma, 3 from the South, if you counted Chase Randall as Texas, Oklahoma area. 3 from the South, Indiana with Courtney, Brian Brown, Iowa, Boguski, Australia, but California still dominates, even on the big giant half miles, Joe.
Yeah, and if you to go, I mean, from like the 80s, 90s, for 40 years, there was the constant rhetoric that the California guys can't race Knoxville, they'll never be good at Knoxville. We have guys go out there and not really do much. And that all changed with this wave of these guys are all pretty similar in age. Kyle and Rico and Macedo. Gio's younger, obviously. So is Corey. But Kyle and Rico kind of changed that narrative of the California. I remember being on Jeremy, your boy Jeremy.
What about Brad Sweet? What about Brad Sweet? You're just going to ignore 5-time champion? I'm just saying. Yeah,
we haven't even mentioned him. And he'll lock in. But I remember being on Jeremy's show, I don't know what year it was, 5-6 years ago, when they were saying, Kyle had never won in Pennsylvania. Well, Kyle's never won in Pennsylvania. And I predicted on the show, I said, if Kyle came to Pennsylvania with Paul Sylvan and ran the whole season there, he'd win 40 races. And they kind of laughed. I don't think that's far off.
No, he destroyed him there on his inward year.
Yeah. So
he was over there a lot. He destroyed him all the time.
It really, it kind of makes no sense because there's no big tracks out here.
It doesn't. Calistoga was the closest. But I think what it teaches you is an aggression of attacking the corner, And then you got some tracks like Placerville that really do slick off for a short track, and you learn your footwork, So you're able to learn that, attacking style on the hooked up, cowboy tracks. And I think some tracks like I said, a Placerville that really goes slick and sandy, you learn your throttle control, and then that's You know, once you start entering on the top of a half mile like you do at Chico, you know, I mean, it's an aggression style of an entry.
But I think out here you race against drivers more. When I watch Pennsylvania, they string out and they're just racing the track. They're not racing each other.
Yeah.
Here you're in traffic a lot. You have to. What I said earlier about a Kyle and a Corey Day and Rico and Gio. They can change their line. They'll change the line in the middle of the corner. They'll turn down off the corner, or they'll slide up, hit the cushion on entry, or they have no hesitation on their adaptability to change within the corner. And I think when you're out here, you're racing.
You're racing.
The other drivers are around you, and they're changing your line, and you just learn by instinct to move around. And when you look at a lineup like this, I mean, I used to go to a local ocean race 10 years ago, and you'd have Kyle and Rico and Eliason and Dominic and, you know, Sanders and Golovic, and it was just 1,500 to win race. You'd have 10 of these guys racing against each other.
And you got to race. Like you said, you don't string out. I mean, maybe on the bigger tracks of PA, you learn how to drive, but you don't learn how to race, if that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. You're more against the track, but it doesn't teach you to move around. These guys, you just watch Kyle. I mean, they don't even really think about it. They just go to the bottom and they stick the bottom, or they run the bottom and slide up to the top, or they're on the top and he turn. Kyle made a pass Thursday where he passed somebody in the middle of 3 and 4, and then I can't believe he got around the guy and then turned down, coming low off 4, and got a guy on the straightaway. I don't think anybody else would do that.
If I was out, if me and you were out there, Joe, we'd do it.
We could think about doing
Just
it.
slide her in there, crank her on the cushion, use the cushion to shoot across the slick and down the straightaway on the bottom where it's tacked up. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I mean, he just does things that I go, wow, I don't know who else is going to do that.
Well, and you see flashes from Corey Day doing that. You see flashes from Gio doing that. You also see guys like, and this is why I'm not really, you know, high on the 41. You see Carson Macedo trying to do that and failing. You know, you see guys trying it and they don't know how to do it, you know.
Yeah.
They fail at attempting to do it.
If we got a cushion up there, even if the cushion's on the wall, Corey Day will be trying it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a young Larson. You know, Larson used to be that way, and then I'm telling you, the way Larson sticks the bottom versus these other guys, you could tell he's patient on the throttle pedal. Some of these other guys are just blowing their tires, the cars across the track. It's insane, you know.
Me and Justin were talking about Oskaloosa and how fast that track is. He ran 6th there last year in the Macri car. And I was asking him, do you think for Kyle, having run like an Indy car where they're going 240 down the straightaway and some of the big NASCAR tracks, do you think it's not even fast for him? Does it not even feel fast, Oskaloosa, in a sprint car for him?
It's possible. Even in some of the old, I ain't done it in a long time, but even in some of the old sim racing stuff, when you were, you know, used to running dirt a lot, and then you would go run like NASCAR or IndyCar stuff for a week or so, and then you came back to the dirt. It even in the game world, it felt like it was everything slow. Hell, this used to be quick and fast, and now it's like, you know, and even Keith Kuhn said that when I interviewed him about, you know, Kyle a few years ago at Chili Bow. You know, when they come back, it is slower. It does slow down.
No.
And I think that makes the patience easier too. You can feather the throttle back when you kind of have an understanding of speed like that.
Well, everybody in a sprint car, you're always adapting the steering and the gas. It just he just has the car's always under him. He's not.
That's in the feet.
Like catching it, he catches it, the little slides, and he adapts faster.
But that's all in the feet, Joe. I mean, they could say that you don't really steer a sprint car around, and that's possibly true. You steer them with that gas and that brake pedal, you know, and Even when Larson's running slow, you don't ever see his car slinging all over the damn racetrack and kicking here and kicking there. He's just the car, like you said, the car's always under him. He's always in control of it.
It's just amazing because he wasn't doing much all year. In fact,
I heard they got a new motor from Ryder. That's what I heard. That ever since they got those, when they put the mufflers on, it was with a new motor package that was for Knoxville, and obviously we know motors are a big deal.
but I'm looking here at Eldora. He had a 20, a 13, and a 31, and then at I-55 on Friday, he was in his heat race, and he couldn't pass that Christopher
Tram.
Or is that how you say his name?
Tram.
He couldn't pass Trom, and I go, man, Kyle, this is incredible to me how bad he's doing. And I go to bed, and I wake up and I look, and it goes, Kyle Larson, 21st to first.
Why does this happen, Joe?
I go, what?
They turned the switch on the car.
3 bad races, and he couldn't get out of his heat race. And I go, 21st to first. What? Was Kyle not in the car when I saw it, or?
Right, and they're still letting him wear that heart rate monitor, Joe. He's still wearing the heart rate monitor.
Of course. Heart rate monitor, yeah. But it's a remarkable turnaround. Right when it mattered.
Right when it matters. It's crazy. It's planned.
Right when it mattered. All of a sudden, we were watching those early high limit races, and we were saying, well, we thought Rico, Kyle, and Brad would win them all, and they weren't winning any of them. We go, this kind of looks fixed. I mean, look at this. Look at this Kyle high limit results. He won the first one. Then he went 26th, 8th, 14th, 6th, 23rd. What is that the same guy that we're seeing now?
It is weird.
All of a sudden.
It's like they knew that Indy 500 was big and all these other commitments were big. And, they were like, well, let's just plan the season to really put it on them at Knoxville. And then we'll put in money on the car. It's like they were just running old stuff. And then kind of like Kofoid, but the other way around. Like you say, they had a good package or they had a bad package. And they were like, well, we ain't going to be, Paul's like, I ain't going to bust my ass to fix it now. We'll just be ready come Knoxville. And then bam.
Yeah, it's a... Well, I'll say it again. We are seeing one of the all-time greats. That's what you're seeing, right in the prime of his career.
One of
the all-time great. Different eras and different situations. It's hard to pick one guy as the all-time great, but he's in the conversation. There it is. We get to see it tonight.
David Gravel from the back, from the B to win it.
I would. Why in his prelim night when Gravel was in the back, couldn't he pass anybody? I was...
That's what everybody says, Joe. If he can't start on the front, he don't win. That's what a lot of people say about him.
Yeah, but you're talking about him coming...
from the B. Although...
Yeah, but on his prelim night, he couldn't pass anybody. Well, I thought he'd get up to like 7th or something. He only got to 15th.
Yeah, it was a hard track to pass on, Joe. It was very locked down. I don't think anybody really moved.
But Macri went 21st to 10th. And I go, well, he'll do better than Macri. And he went from 24th to 8th. I don't know. He couldn't pass Casey Kane and Carson McCarl.
That's definitely something you want to leave off the resume.
I'm just throwing it out there. What did you do to Gravel?
What did I do?
Was he more concerned about getting you free tickets in front of the flagman than he was driving?
I don't know. He did set me up.
It was the golf cart when he plowed into you.
Yeah, the golf cart.
Yeah, he was more concerned about Corey Day's interview than he was his own race.
Oh, you can't say that, Joe. You're gonna get him fired.
Well, he'll bounce back. He's been the best all year. He's bouncing back. He's not going down easy here.
What way to bounce back better than to win the fucking race and take down the GOAT from the back?
If he starts in the back and passes Kyle Larson to win this race, I'll say it's the greatest Knoxville Nationals ever. But he's got to pass Gio too.
Will you then say David Gravel is potentially one of the greatest of all time, or no? He can't do that.
No.
I won't say it yet, but I'll say what he's done.
If he did that, that is a GOAT way of doing it. Is what you're saying? That's that.
Right. He has 100 wins. He's on path. I mean, he can get 200 wins. He got these 100 wins in about 10 years.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
His first one was in Rod Tyner's car at Merced. That's like 2013. I remember it.
Right.
He won races in Bill Rose's car. Is that right? Did he get in Bill Rose's car?
Yeah. I think he won. I don't know. Did he win in Bill's car? I'm not sure. I know he ran well.
I think he made the Knoxville Nationals main event. Bill Rose's car.
History will be made.
They did say history will be made, Joe. What is the history going to be made? There has to be that is the conspiracy that he pointed out, that Knoxville has pushed history will be made, all leading up. So there's only a few ways history can be made, Joe. The only real history we saw could be made is Corey Day becoming the youngest ever Knoxville Nationals champion. That's the only real history that could be made.
The youngest? Wouldn't Gio be the youngest?
No.
Greg Weld was the youngest.
Greg Weld was 20. How old is Gio?
Oh, okay. No, Gio's 22 or something.
Right. So Corey Day winning it would become the youngest ever, which would potentially be the only history. The only other history would have been Schatz, Tynes, Kinzer.
What are the odds of a top 5 California sweep?
The odds of fucking hell freezing over, you piece of shit West Coaster.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast, but I'm not biased towards the West Coast. I don't understand. There's no real reason for it. I've heard on different shows these California drivers be asked, why is this the case? And nobody really has an answer. Maybe it's just...
You got potential for that to happen, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, the podium. The podium called California?
Yeah, it's very probable.
Is Courtney going to be sneaky good? What's his best Knoxville finish? You know?
I don't know, but he is sneaky good. He wins big races. I think his first big win was Kings Royal, like second year in a wing car. So he can perform on stages, basically.
That'll be the upset.
Would Tyler Courtney technically be an upset? Isn't he a staple in high limit as a,
I
up
think
front?
anybody who can pass Kyle heads up for the wins and upset.
That's true.
If Kyle drops out, then it's not. But if Kyle does lose, I hope it's on the track racing.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I just think it's going to be hard. It's almost impossible to do that, Joe. So you have to have a flat for him to lose.
But that's the key. It's almost impossible. Jason Johnson beating Schatz when he did was. That
would be like, Gio passing Larson or something.
That's right. I think I'm trying to remember Gio's was his first outlaw win at Eldora in Bernie's car? Not sure.
Sure.
And then I think Gio's second or third outlaw win was down at Charlotte where he passed Larson. So he's passed Larson to win an outlaw race before.
We will see, Joe. It is 50 minutes. We're trying to keep this short so we can get the damn episode out.
Okay. Well, Gio, if you talked up broke Joe, that's just bitter karma.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Okay, we got to do a show after the. You won't do a show after.
We can't. We could do one tomorrow, maybe.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe we'll do that. We'll see how this if it's worth talking about.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in and telling the truth.
Well, it's just predictions. I don't know how much of it's what I'm hoping for, or probably some of that in there, but.
Question is, how scared did you, or how much fear did you have for Jeremy Elliott when you saw the look on his face when he met Spike?
Well,
oh no,
I didn't know what to make of it because I was scared for Jeremy, and then 30 seconds in, Spike's backing down.
He does it. He's a bitch. I try to tell people this.
All of a sudden, he was saying whatever Jeremy wanted to hear. I go, wow. He changed his tune.
I'm telling you, he roided up. He roided up at 25, and this is the 40-year-old leftover.
He was a big talker until he got confronted. Then all of a sudden, back down.
I'm just kidding.
He's not here to defend himself, so.
Right. That's true. We shouldn't talk about him.
He said he was just keeping the peace, so.
Yeah, he does that. I guess when you're that big, you have to be nice, right? Or people will cry.
Yeah, he was just there supporting the event.
Right. Okay.
We don't know where he is though, but
We don't know. Some hopefully over 18-year-old girl took him home last night. Hopefully.
Are girls looking for Spike?
They're always, or he's always looking for them at least.
Oh, okay.
No, they're looking for him. They were raping him at the concert. Seriously.
Well, it's because he had a hole in his pants, didn't he?
Yeah, it was intentional. He don't want to admit it.
So he's this real social, outgoing person at these things.
No, he just stands there and eats a lot of food.
Does he have like the sleeves cut off his shirt?
Yeah, he's that guy. And he got the bedazzled jeans.
He's. Does he wear jewelry?
Nose rings because he's gay.
Does he have a necklace or a bracelet?
I think he does, and a watch.
And a watch.
Yeah, he's looking all done up, and the sleeve tattoos, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, well, I knew he had the sleeve tattoos. I saw him when you guys did this show, but he's got the beard. He's got necklaces. He's got tattoo. He's in a costume.
Basically, he is a walking costume. Yes.
So he has all these things he adds on to his body enhancements, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Steroids and all.
So he might have a bracelet, a watch, a ring, a nose ring, an earring. Does he wear a scarf or a necklace? So he's. It's like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith out there.
Yeah, I came in here the other day. I was like, "What's that electrical fire going on?" They're like, "It's his cologne." Oh my god, it smelled like fucking wires burning.
Cologne.
Oh,
So
big time.
When you called him at noon, maybe he was gussying himself up. Maybe he just wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to trim his beard, and who knows? He's got to get his hat on in the right position. Yeah. Just takes him a little while to get ready.
It's true. It's true. Okay, we got to get this video out. Yes.
Okay, get the video out.
Silk screening, you go.
Silk screening's ready to go. I'll be screening when I hang up in 2 minutes.
Should I come to California next week or no, Joe? Or are y'all burning to the ground? That's what we need to know.
Since they will not, I think the fires might stop a few weekends, so I don't know. I can't give you a good answer.
And I'd have to drive through the fire to get there, too. I know last time I was out there, it was burning fires, and I didn't get out of smog until I got to freaking Nebraska. It was smoking the damn sky all the way to Nebraska. Like, I couldn't breathe at one point in Reno. It gets bad.
Well, all the fire crews use these fairgrounds where the tracks are to station themselves. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's. You have to look at the fire maps. Aren't there Google fire maps?
Yeah, there is. Yep. Yep. And there's the air pollution warning and all this stuff. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I mean, they'll get the first weekend. After that, or the first couple in. But
yeah, because it's usually in Northern California, right? It's not in the middle area, is it?
It can be everywhere. But you're right. Northern's the worst one going on right now, the Park Fire. It's like the 4th biggest fire ever. But one broke out near Placerville, so I don't. A couple days ago, so I don't know.
All right.
Who's starting the fires? I don't know if the World of Outlaws are starting fires out here.
Probably they are. Bastards. All right, Joe.
See how it goes.
Thanks for calling.
All right.
Gio's the pick.
Gio for the upset.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Who are you picking? Larson, you fuck?
Well, of course. I mean, how can I not?
I'm picking David Gravel from the back. From the B.
Wow.
To solidify his legacy. You can't have the outlaw point leader who's dominated, who ain't been challenged all year long, lay an egg at Knoxville. It ain't going to happen. He's coming.
Okay, we'll see.
Fuck you, fucking Larsonites. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the show. We'll catch you next time. Thanks to Broke Joe and Spike. Hopefully she's 18. Bye.
This is how we do. I must